5 days in jail, with an additional 12 months of probation.
Please. My baby was in the car. She's unresponsive. The AC was on. She's dead.
So we can't let you do that right now.
You can stay in the room if you want.
It's a scorching 109 degrees in Marana, Arizona on the late afternoon of July 9th, 2024. A frantic 911 call sends first responders racing to the aid of a 2-year-old child found unresponsive after her father left her to sleep in the family's car. As investigators try to piece together what may have happened, unsettling discrepancies begin to emerge, and shocking evidence raises a haunting question. Was this a heartbreaking mistake, or a catastrophe waiting to happen? The suspect in question and all persons charged with a crime are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law.
It's like baffling. I don't know. It's baffling that this happened.
Our lives have been literally perfect.
The panic 911 call comes in around 4 p.m. from 37-year-old Christopher Schultes. As the dispatcher attempts to keep him calm, Marana County Police and first responders weave through the busy streets in a desperate race to get to the scene.
What are you reporting? She was in the car sleeping. She's unresponsive. Okay. And who is she? Please. My daughter. Is she still breathing? No, she's not breathing right now. Okay, we need to start CPR right now. Yes, CPR. Okay, is she breathing yet? It was, but it's what is off?
They have some CPR along with the doctor and CPR on the baby.
My baby?
By the time police arrive, paramedics have already taken over efforts to save the child, but the situation looks grim. As the temperature outside is boiling, they need to know how long she was exposed to the deadly heat.
Half hour, 45 minutes. 45 minutes, okay. The car's been on. She's still in the car. Was the air conditioning on? Yes.
But I guess you turned on, right?
As the paramedics need space to work, Chris walks away from the desperate situation. The officers attempt to keep Chris calm as he experiences rapid shifts in his emotional state.
Hi, Chris. Oh, yeah, let's get some work done.
What's going on? Why are you with me?
Because we were first responders and we were on scene when we were all of us.
The AC was on. Still at worst, a nightmare. I'm sad for things, so can we sit down? Please, baby, please. Anything.
Despite their best efforts, the situation takes a dark turn.
I mean, I don't know if we either of us should do everything now, but she's dead. Like, I need to be with her.
Oh my God, I know. No. She's dead. Sir, we're doing the best they can right now, okay?
Shortly after arriving at the hospital, 2-year-old Parker Schultes was pronounced deceased, a devastating result of intense heat stroke. While waiting with officers inside the house, Chris's demeanor continues to alternate between panic and eerily calm.
situation, right?
She wants me to try and get her out of the hospital.
Hey, we'll accommodate that for you, alright? We're just gonna need to get a statement from you about what happened and what's been going on. Obviously, I know this isn't easy for you. Okay? It's not easy for anyone around right now.
As the officer prepares to get Chris's version of events, a group of investigators outside try to piece together what little information they have from the child's mother. However, a disturbing observation made by one of the paramedics will leave them questioning if there's more to the story than they've been led to believe.
Mom's an anesthesiologist, so mom's working. Mom arrived, asked where the daughter was. Dad came out here, brought the kid in, looked like that. Mom started working on the kid. That point, Dad said the kid had been in the car for 45 minutes. AC was running.
The car wasn't running when you guys got
No, the car was not running.
Sounds like he was aware, because he said he left the baby in the car to sleep and left the car on.
No medics were talking about rigor in there already.
While Parker's physical state upon the paramedics' arrival raises suspicions with the officers outside, Chris begins to explain his version of what happened.
My daughters were at elevator right next door. They got home about 2:45 or so. We've just been hanging out at home. She was sleeping in the car, and I had the car on. But it has a sensor where every 30 minutes or so it'll turn off if I haven't moved. I swore she was in the house playing with her sisters like she always does. I haven't been doing anything else really around the house. Well, we never do this anywhere, but I'm home, right? Like you're home, you're safe, your kids are home.
Right. I'm sorry this is all going on.
We always park that over in the garage, dude. Like, I just got a Peloton recently, and the Peloton is in the garage. So that's why it's not even in the garage. But
And how long was she sleeping in the car for?
I want to say it was no more than 30, 45 minutes.
The chilling reality is that Parker remained in the driveway for far longer, a darker truth that will soon come to light with devastating implications. Meanwhile, as tensions simmer in the stifling heat outside, two officers take refuge in the shade and vent their mounting frustrations over the tragic situation.
They should have went, but they put them directly in the back seats and directly in the front.
Now taking a break from questions, Chris makes a startling move that leaves officers stunned. As they attempt to relay the gravity of the situation, his willingness to cooperate takes a sharp turn.
Just to let you know, I don't want to feel like we're intruding, but we're gonna have to stand by with you for a while. All right.
Is there a reason why?
So any death we have to treat like a crime scene. I know this is extremely difficult for you. This is a normal process that we have to follow through with. I don't want you to be blindsided by anything, but that's what's going to be going on today, okay?
So I'm being treated like a murderer? Okay, there's a lot of why you think.
No, I know that. And I know this is easy for you. That's why I'm trying to be straightforward and honest with you, okay? I don't want to keep any secrets. I don't want to hide anything for you. Someone's going to talk to you about what happened there, all right? We need to keep you up to date with everything.
My whole family, my whole family's gonna be ruined.
We'll be all right.
Promise.
So we can't let you do that right now. We have to stand by with you. Okay? As soon as we can, we will let you
You
know.
can stay in the room if you want, but I'm gonna rip out.
I know this isn't easy for you, but the quicker we get this done and finish up, the sooner you can be with your wife. Alright?
The planks are ripped off so I can go to the hospital and be with my wife.
We're not going to shower or anything right now. You need to stand by with us.
I don't understand why.
Okay? Please.
I don't understand why.
I tried explaining that to you. You just need to stand by with
I'm
you.
standing by. Why can't I take a shower while you stand by? What is...
It's not necessary right now. I'm not going to stand here and watch you shower.
After settling on a change of clothes, Chris is informed that his other two children, two girls ages 5 and 9, have arrived with their grandmother and are waiting for him outside. As he passes by, a keen-eyed officer spots that Chris is holding something in his hands that detectives will need to collect as evidence.
He's got the shirt she was wearing. Are we going to need that?
Probably, yes.
So we're gonna need to take the dress. Okay?
Well,
Part of this is, so we have to take her dress. We have to leave it here. Like, he said we're doing the investigation still. And we have to have her dress. We can't let you take her dress.
Investigators decide to let Chris go ahead to the hospital, opting to speak to both him and his wife later that evening. The following recorded interviews between them and the detective detail their version of what happened. But as you'll soon discover, shocking discrepancies and jaw-dropping evidence reveal a far more devastating series of events.
If you could walk me through the events, starting from obviously this morning, and then to eventually you guys reaching out, calling 911.
Pretty normal morning. Girls woke up, and one of their friends had asked them to do a bit of elevate with like their mom's friend. Their best friends live next door. Grandma was supposed to come get them. I think she showed up around 10:30 or something. Took them to elevate.
As the older daughters left for the trampoline park, Parker was supposedly left alone in Chris's home. He at least explains that he went to a doctor's office and took Parker along with him, only to discover that it was closed.
So we just basically turned around and came home. And I looked at the clock and I remember thinking, oh, I gotta get home because the girls are gonna probably head back soon. So we got home, and the girls weren't home yet, but David was sleeping in the car. And so I had taken some stuff inside, and I came back out, and the girls were there. They had just pulled up. So they came inside, checked on the baby, she was still sleeping. And then came back inside. That's where I just kind of like was, I don't know, thinking that she was playing with her sisters. I think that me coming home and thinking that, you know, the girls were going to be home, so I got like come back in and out kind of thing.
You said the girls came home. You remember about what time that was?
I want to say it was like 2:30.
The next-door neighbor, whose kids went with Chris's older daughters earlier in the day, has a very different answer for what time the children came home.
So they got dropped off about what time?
Probably 1:30.
And then, do you remember what time you left to go to the clinic? Okay. Do you remember roughly about what time you got to the clinic and saw their clothes?
Probably about 2.
Security footage from nearby businesses and Chris's own neighborhood paint a shockingly different picture, as we'll soon uncover. The discrepancies between his account and what the cameras captured will be impossible for detectives to ignore, especially as an even more startling pattern of behavior begins to surface.
So the girls get home at about 2:30. You checked.
And the car was still on.
Okay.
It's like every 30 minutes or something, like we'll turn it off and you gotta move the car.
I don't know, I think a walk out here to the car is in 20 minutes, and I don't think that's...
Is that something that's happened before that you noticed with the car? Or?
I've noticed the car stopping before just because I was sitting in it one time and not like having like anything going on, and it just turns off, so I know that it does that at some point.
Crime scene investigators performed a test to replicate this event on Chris's car, and while the exact time varied between each test, the vehicle turned itself off consistently around the 20-minute mark. 1 hour after the engine shut off, investigators reported the temperature of the back seat where Parker was left sleeping. It was a sweltering 149 degrees Fahrenheit.
And then you go inside, You guys are doing things as normal. Then what's next?
Girls were playing in their room on their iPads, like they usually do. That's where I thought that the baby was. Well, said hi. The baby didn't come say hi to her stuff. She was like, baby. I was like, oh no, I think she's sleeping. And my daughter was looking for her first, and the girl said that she was sleeping in the toy room. But when I got up and went to the toy room, she wasn't in there. And I went like, And then I was just walking around the house, like checking the rooms and stuff, because I figured she was in one of the other rooms. I went out the driveway to check the car.
Already, Chris's timeline casts doubts as it places Parker in the driveway from before 2:30 p.m. up until the 911 call was placed, much longer than the 30 to 45 minutes he originally claimed. These discrepancies won't escape these seasoned detectives, but the truth they uncover will be worse than they imagined.
As far as letting sleep in the car, have you done that before with the kids?
Not that I'm aware of.
And then, have you done anything like this before, where you just let her sleep in the car?
No, that's normally, I mean, I have the girls with me usually, and the girls are always, good about, like, Dad, get the baby, we're off one side together.
Me to be insensitive, but I have to ask these questions. Any issues at home? Any problems?
No, we have to prove it for it. Like, I'm not even kidding. Yeah, ours, we ever did, we're just, it all, just how much we love each other, how perfect our girls are, just how full everything is. It's just, it's like baffling. I don't know. It's baffling that this happened.
While they both claim it's never happened before, security footage witnessed by police, along with more unsettling claims, will ultimately reveal the possibility of a disturbing pattern of behavior. On the morning of July 9th, the day of the incident, Chris allegedly pulled into a gas station at around 12:06 p.m. on his way to the doctor's office. He's seen entering by himself, and after buying 3 cans of beer, enters the bathroom. Only 1 can remained as he exited without paying around 12:10 p.m. Chris's vehicle is next seen arriving at the doctor's office at 12:12 p.m., hours before he originally claimed. His vehicle is then seen making a third stop at a Bosch's grocery store at 12:30 p.m. Cameras captured someone matching Chris's description entering the store at 12:40 p.m., once again alone. He's then seen returning to the vehicle at 12:47 p.m. At 12:47, neighborhood cameras captured Chris entering the neighborhood. The vehicle was captured pulling into the driveway at 12:53 p.m., where Parker was left asleep until 4:16 p.m., when the 911 call was placed. Parker Schultes remained in the driveway for more than 3 hours. The possibility that Parker was left unattended at each location may have been a shock to detectives, but to neighbors it was no surprise. After hearing troubling rumors circulating in their small neighborhood, investigators begin to question them and are shocked at the surprising allegations. Neighbors tell police that there have been multiple incidents in which the older girls were rumored to be found lost and wandering the neighborhood, while Chris was nowhere to be found. As well, a second neighbor came forward to say she'd been involved in a number of search parties for the girls over the years and claimed that while Chris was home, he would have no clue that he even left the house. While Chris and his wife both adamantly denied regularly leaving their children alone, disturbing text messages surfaced between the two that seemed to contradict their claims. In this exchange, which took place just after Parker was taken to the hospital, the messages read, "I told you to stop leaving them in the car. How many times have I told you?" To which Chris replies, "I'm sorry. Detectives are coming for me. I'm going to prison. I killed our baby." Additionally, in the months leading up to Parker's untimely death, the mother accused Chris of driving under the influence with the girls in the car. As well, it appears that Chris admits to speeding at nearly 140 miles per hour with one of the children in the back seat. One burning question still remains: what Chris was doing while Parker was supposedly trapped in the scorching vehicle for over 3 hours.
Between 2:30 and then when came home, what were you doing?
Working on laundry, the office was on TV, was drinking a Dr. Pepper, done a little vacuuming on the stuff in the house. It was just like a lounge around the house day.
A search of Chris's phone may shed even more light on his activities at the time. Shockingly, around 2 p.m. while Parker slept in the hot car, Chris may have been browsing for men's clothing, searching for adult videos, raising chilling questions about his priorities and state of mind. With enough probable cause to make an arrest, Police once again returned to the home on July 12th, just 3 days after Parker's tragic death.
Hey, how you doing? Doing all right. You have to Chris came out. So, based off of our investigation at this point, right, we have determined there's probable cause to go ahead and charge you for what happened. Okay? Yeah, appreciate it.
Let's come out here, Christopher.
No.
It's okay.
No. Okay. So, listen. Okay. This doesn't change. This doesn't change what's going on. Okay. What happens at this point? It's simple. Okay. What happens at this point is you are going to be taken in custody. Alright, and you will be booked. And then after you are booked, you have an initial appearance with the judge within the first 24 hours. Okay. After the first 24 hours, right, the judge will determine bond and things like that as far as what happens next. At that point, the case goes to the courts. It'll be between you, it'll be between your attorneys, and it'll be between the county prosecutor. So, again, I can't change the consequences of what happened, alright? But what I'm going to ask of you... Okay.
Come on, Chris. Let's go on her. Can you grab him some shoes, please? No.
That's okay. Can I just ask something?
Let's relax.
I'm resisting you, please.
Just relax. Just relax. Just relax. Just relax.
The timing of the arrest doesn't sit well with Chris's wife and mother, who express their concerns as well as their harsh opinions about the officers themselves.
Just need those two return, and I don't want as many as possible. So I don't want to see what's left of the funeral.
I don't want kids to see that.
Seriously, but I
That's going to be...
Chris, I'm gonna be here. I'll take care of everything.
As officers prepare for transport, they make one final consideration given the extreme temperatures.
Anything inside your pockets? Except it's standard. Okay. Hey, Brooks, on the AC, look on the bottom, it says rear AC. Okay. Is it? We'll do a second. Thank you.
Christopher Schultes was arrested and booked into the Pima County Adult Detention Center. He's been indicted on charges of second-degree murder and child abuse related to the death of Parker Schultes. While he was later released pre-trial services, the court had asked for a $1 million bond. During his second showing at the court in August 2024, Schultes pleaded not guilty to the charges. The charges have now been escalated to first-degree murder and child abuse.
Mr. Pancake, you want to go out? Don't move. Get on the belly, Mr. Pancake. On. Pancake, get on the belly. Where the jerk?
Should never went back up for that truck, damn it. Damn it. Should have got that truck and just drove over there. Got closer.